Marcos family, welcome. This is Sports Queen. My name is Witness. Guys, join us by subscribing our channel and help us to reach 10,000 subscribers to our YouTube channel. In a decision that could reshape the landscape of player, contract and youth development in South African football, in Attribution Award handed down by Advocate Hilton Epstein, he has ruled in favor of KAIZER Chief, clearing the registration of Asanil Valebay and Baartman, two promising youngster players formerly contracted to Cape Town Spurs. The decision hangs on contractual clause stipulating that the player were to participate exclusive in professional football, a team that became legal significant after Cape Town Spurs relegation to ABC Motsepe League, which is classified as mature under SAFA regulation. Cape Town Spurs, acknowledging the rule but expressing strong concern, argued that the decision undermined the integrity of binding contract and threatening the sustainability of club-driven youth development system. The club claim of investing millions over a decade in developing the players only to lose them without compensation following their drop into an immature league. This memo explored the legal foundation of the attribution ruling to contractual and regulatory frameworks involved in potential ground for review and the broader implication for professional football in South Africa, particularly for club navigating the complex terrain of relegation, player mobility, and talent retention. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notification bell, like the video, enjoy. So Cape Town Spurs have issued a statement acknowledging the Attribution Award handed down by Advocate Hilton, which has cleared Asanil Valebay and Baartman to register for KAIZER Chief. So from media reports and Spurs statement, Cape Town Spurs acknowledged the Attribution Award by Advocate Hilton Epstein, which cleared Asanil Valebay and Baartman to register as free agent and join KAIZER Chief. The basic basis of attribution decision, the player contract stipulated that they were to play only professional football, and the ABC Motsepe League, where Spurs now are, is defined as an immature competition under SAFA rules. Hence, those contracts become impossible to perform. They could not be enforced in an immature environment. According to attribution, found that relegation to an immature league effectively voided this professional-only contract, freeing the players. Spurs, while disappointed, have said they will respect the award and will review to detail reasoning with their legal team to assess implication. However, Spurs are already warning that this ruling raises serious questions about how clubs protected their interests, especially those investing in youth development. So, strength and risky for Spurs position. First is contract sensitivity. Pacta sunt servanda. Spurs argue a valid contract should not be nullified merely by relegation. The principle that agreement must be kept is central to contract law, and if the contract explicitly said they were not terminable or not, they should remain binding. If successful in appeal or review, they might assert that the DRC attribution made a reviewable error or misinterpreted contractual clauses. They could reopen the decision. Also, economic investment and development protection. Spurs point out heavy cost of youth development. Their input cost per player over 10 years is around 8 million for training, infrastructure, education, and welfare. Their argument is that such an award undermines the business model of development clubs by making them vulnerable to losing players without compensation once relegated. Precedent and systematic risk. Spurs warn that the ruling will set a precedent encouraging other players in relegated clubs to seek free agent status, destabilizing contract across lower tier and developing clubs. They also flag possible tapping up illegal recruitment of contract players as a risk that they could be intervised under the ruling. In weakness and challenge in Spurs' position, Contract wording on argument with regulatory definitions. The attributor relied heavily on contract professional football clause and on SAFA NSL definition, distinguishing immature vs professional status. If the contract language is ambiguous and consistent with the regulatory classification, it is difficult to disregard such clauses. So if Spurs contract did not sufficient anticipate scenarios like relegation, or if the regulatory rules were clear on what counts a professional, Spurs argument might be likely weak. Also, acceptance of decision limited recourse. Spurs have indicated they will take note and abide by decision, which suggested they may not or cannot immediately overturn it. The attribution award no order, of course, which might reflect the attributor's view of the equities of the case, in practice difficult in reversing or undoing registration. Once Valebay and Baartman are registered to chief, it becomes much harder, legal and administratively, to reverse those moves, particularly if they play matches or integrate into the squad. So in wide implication for South African football development, this is not just a dispute between two clubs, it could have far-reaching consequences. Erosion of contractual security for development clubs. The core fear is that regulatory to immature clauses will become scapegoats for talented players to leave without compensation, which hinders clubs investing in youth. Risking to academy models. If club cannot rely on binding contract to protect their investment, few clubs may be willing to invest heavily in youth development, particularly in lower tiers where finance and tighter. So pressure in regulatory framework, rule reform, SAFA, NSL, and PSL may be complied to tighten rules, clarify definition, professional vs immature, and possibility institute stronger protection mechanism, example mandatory compensation, fixed standard for regulatory consequence. Agent and third-party influence. The dispute raises concern about how players, especially young ones, are influenced by agents or intermediaries. The narrative suggests some players may have been misled. Also precedent for other cases. Club with players in a similar contractual and regulatory situation will watch close. This could lead to a wave of challenges and appeals in coming season. So possible next step scenario, detailed review, appeal and judicial review. Spurs are like to ask their lawyer to challenge the attribution award, possibly via view application and appropriate sports law, civil court, and on ground of legal error in misinterruption. Sinking compensation and training fees. Even if the award stands, Spurs may pursue monetary compensation, training, development, residual value if permitted under regulatory or via legal action. Revising future contracts. Spurs and other clubs might redesign contract to explicit address relegation or change of status clause, ensuring more robust protection in future deals. Advocates for regulatory changes. Club or footballing bodies may push SAFA and NCL to mandate rules so that the regulator does not nullify all protection for clubs. Example, mandatory release fee, extension or residual rights even when a club fails to immature status. So, monetary and respond to RIPS cases. Other player or clubs in similar scenario may bring forward cases using the attribution as precedent. Spurs and other will need to respond strategically. So my assessment outlook, the attribute decision appear legal divisible, especially given the clarity in contract language, professional only, and the regulatory distinction between professional and immature. However, I believe Spurs have a strong case in public policy and development terms. The ruling shake the foundation of how youth project and protected financial and contractual in South Africa. Whether Spurs succeed in overturning or modifying the effect of the award depend heavily on the depth of legal review and whether high bodies, courts in SAFA, will accept argument about precedent and fairness over strict textual interpretation. In practice, Valebay and Baartman would like to be registered for chief and status quo may not be reserved. Spurs may get some form of compensation or moral win in reform how future contracts are handled. The real lasting effect will be how club, regulator and shareholders adjust Stakeholders adjust contract norm and regulation to ensure development club aren't permanent disadvantage. Guys, thanks for joining. This is Sports Queen. My name is Witness. Enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video,